15 star players that could be traded this offseason coming at you here on NFL Daily. Now, I wouldn't be able to do today's show if it wasn't for our amazing sponsor, Manscaped. Valentine's Day, y'all, it's right around the corner. And if you haven't tried their brand new body wash, a lot of people are talking about it and they're saying, damn, that stuff smells unbelievable. You know who's definitely saying it? Your girl. So go to manscaped.com, use code CHAT at checkout. That way you're going to be able to save 20% off and get free shipping on the best male grooming products. Now, what you're going to be seeing here on today's show is 15 big-name players, and I have them ranked from 15 all the way down to 1. I am literally sitting up here saying that my gut feeling is telling me that all 15 of these players will be on the move this offseason, and the way that I have them ranked is by just overall how good they are. So 15 is the worst, number 1 is the best. Coming in here at number 15, if you think it smells fishy, it's probably because you're not using Manscaped products, but it's Noah Igbinoghene, drafted number 30th overall in the 2020 draft. He played in only 78 snaps last season. He is under contract through the 2023 year, but this was a kid when he came out of Auburn, I was like, all right, solid corner. They need to be able to go ahead and put him in certain situations. The issue is this. Miami hasn't put him in the correct situations. Now he's been an absolute disaster. I do think there's going to be teams out there that say, you know what, we're going to take a flyer on this first-round bust. Speaking of first-round busts, next guy coming up here for the Las Vegas Raiders is Clelin Ferrell, selected number 4 overall in the 2019 draft. I'm telling y'all this right now, the Raiders will decline his 5th-year option. So therefore, if you can get something for him, you go ahead and do so. I don't know how many teams are going to be interested in going out and trading for Clelin Ferrell, because the new team would then have to go ahead and take on about $4 million of his contract. He has only 8 sacks, 24 pressures in 3 seasons. This past season was not good. The Raiders have Max Crosby, Unique Ngakoue. They just went out and drafted Malcolm Koonce from Cleveland. He's going to be on his way out. Now, what I want you guys to do is look into that crystal ball, or balls, and name a player that will get traded this offseason. And I know it's kind of a difficult question to ask. All I know is this. There's going to be trades. We're going to be breaking down a lot of this stuff. So name a player that will get traded this offseason. I look like the guy that my girlfriend dates, and that Gardner Minshew looks like the guy that my girlfriend tells me not to worry about, right? So coming in here at number 13, the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. I personally believe if you're a team who you lose a quarterback due to a trade, a free agency, and you need a solid bridge starter, why not give Minshew Mania a chance? He's going to make $2.5 million in 2022, which is a really reasonable deal. And when he's been on the field, he's actually looked pretty decent. 439 yards, 4 touchdowns, and interception. I thought he did a pretty good job in relief in Philadelphia. He looked pretty good at times in Jacksonville. If you need a bridge starting quarterback, I definitely think Gardner Minshew is going to be a name to keep in mind. We are going to stick here in the city of brotherly love. Offensive tackle Andre Dillard coming in at number 12. The number 22 overall pick back in the 2019 draft. I think that he has a lot of upside. I think he's a really good tackle, but the Eagles, they have 2 solid tackles in Malata and then Lane Johnson at left and the right side. He does have 2 years left on his rookie deal, and one of the top players in terms of trade rumors during the deadline was Andre Dillard, who I'm telling y'all right now can be a very reliable tackle on the left side. I wouldn't be afraid to give him a shot on the right side in his limited playing time this year, an 89.6 PFF grade. Coming in at number 11 of my NFL trade candidates, it's wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, Calvin Ridley. He played in only 5 games this season and then decided to step away from football to work on his mental health. He has also come out and said that he wouldn't mind being traded out of Atlanta. I get the fact that he has these mental health issues or concerns. He's under contract through 2022, but the Alabama prospect who was drafted in the first round back in 2018, he has a ton of talent. He was one of the top receivers back in 2020, taking over for Julio Jones. If you're the Falcons and you think that you're a little bit further away from winning right now, Calvin Ridley, I think you can go out and get at least a second-round pick for him. At number 10, here's a big-name guy, and I love Saquon Barkley, but you have to face the fact he was not worth the number 2 overall pick in the draft. And after 4 seasons, I know a lot of Giants fans are starting to get frustrated. Hell, if I'm being 100% with y'all, thought Devontae Booker actually looked better in that offense than Barkley. But the reason why people are going to be interested is because he's just a freak athlete. Now, he's missed 21 games the past 3 seasons, and he's due $7.25 million on his 5th-year option. 7.2 for a running back of his caliber. I don't think it's that much. However, he only had 162 carries, 593 yards this past season, and the injuries continue to stack up. If you could guarantee me that he's going to be healthy and he's going to be able to play the entire season, hell, even 15, 16 games, I think that there's would be a lot of teams. The issue is you can't tell me that. Now, Valentine's Day, y'all, February 14th, and I don't want you to be sitting at home playing with your thumbs. Xbox, what do you think I was going to say? Go out, have a good time, and the way that you can do that is by going to manscaped.com/chat. That way, you can see what all the fuss is about. Your balls will absolutely thank you. So whether you want to get your hands on the Lawnmower 4.0, the Performance Package, the Perfect Package, we got all that stuff available for y'all, and you can save 20% if you use code CHAT. If you can't find the link, can't find something else, probably because you got a hell of a bush and the lawnmower hasn't gotten rid of it. It's manscaped.com/chat. I also, though, I want you guys to go ahead and try out their brand new body wash. It smells great. My girlfriend, she's just, the other day when I came out of the shower, she's like, wow, you smell really good. What are you using? I started using their Manscaped products. The boxers on top of that will be the most comfortable things you ever wear. If you're a woman watching this show, you're like, what should I get my husband for Valentine's Day or boyfriend? Here you go. If you're a guy, get yourself something, because then you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go to Michael Thomas coming in here at number 9. He does hold a $24.7 million cap hit. Now, his base salary is $15.4, so if a team goes out and trade for him, that's essentially what you're going to have to pay him. He's missed 26 games over the past 2 seasons. He's a good receiver. Put up incredible numbers back in 2019 with Drew Brees. 2020, though, only 40 grabs, 438 yards. He's had some drama. I know a lot of people in the Saints organization are getting a little bit tired of Thomas, who, personally, if you'd ask him, he probably thinks he's the greatest wide receiver of all time. I definitely think he's top 10, but he is getting a little bit, his head's getting a little bit too big to come through the doors. So the fact that he hasn't played, the fact that you're now starting to see some other concerns. That's why he's number 9 on my list. At number 8, and some people might think this might be a little bit too high, but I love Mekhi Becton. I think he can be one of the best left tackles in the National Football League. I personally think that the Jets would be idiotic to do this, but idiotic, Jets, kind of makes some sense. He came to camp a little bit overweight, and he missed 16 games with knee issues. And when you're as big as Mekhi Becton, it's definitely important to try to keep that weight and everything going, because at 6'7", 363 pounds, that's a lot of weight to lug around. George Fant, Morgan Moses both played very well this season. Now, Morgan Moses is a free agent who might not end up coming back. But let's just say the Jets, like, you know what, we want to bring back Moses. You want to keep Fant as your starting left tackle. Would anybody give us anything for Becton? If I was an NFL team and I needed a tackle, I would be more than willing to give up a first-round pick for Becton. That's how good I think this young man is. Now, there's going to be a lot of trades that happen this offseason. It's just the way that it works. And we're going to do our best to keep you up to date on all of them. So there's a reason why we have over 277,000 subs. We give you guys free content every single day. We go live multiple times a week. But on top of that, I think we like to have a good time and have some fun with our audience. So if you haven't joined the Chat Sports family yet, please go ahead and do so. If you're like, well, what else do I got to do to join, or why should I? At the end of the day, man, our channel grows when the community grows, and we can only continue to grow if y'all hit that sub button and turn on those notifications. Now, the next guy coming up here on my list is on the defensive side of the football. It's Myles Jack. There were a ton of rumors around him in 2021, especially near the deadline. He's scheduled to make $10.5 million, which is a little bit more than I like to pay linebackers, because I consider linebackers the running back on defense. But he's getting ready to enter the prime of his career, 27 years old. Jacksonville has never been afraid to shed salary and shed assets in the past to get more draft picks. Coming off here, we had 108 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss. If there was a team out there that needed a solid middle linebacker, Myles Jack should probably be one of the top guys on your list. At number 6 here, my NFL trade candidates presented by Manscaped. It's Jimmy Garappollo, who, out of anybody in the NFL that I can guarantee uses Manscaped, yeah, it's old Jimmy G. Jimmy G himself expects to be traded. So For that reason, he's got to be on here. He does carry a $24.2 million base salary in 22. The fact that the Niners drafted Trey Lance 3 overall, I personally believe means that they want to go ahead and go forward with him. Garappollo definitely has his limitations, and you see it in some of the numbers. 3,810 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks this season. You saw some ups and downs in the postseason, but he also gets backed up by a lot of solid players like Trent Williams or somebody like Deebo Samuel. There is a statement to say in terms of like some guys just win, and I do think when Jimmy Garoppolo was under center, people listen to him. I think he's a good leader, but he absolutely has his limitations, which is why he's number 6 on my list. At number 5 on my trade candidates video, I'm going to go with Brandin Cooks. Cooks has already been traded, which seems like 7 or 8 times, and definitely no stranger to it. One of the top wide receivers when we discussed NFL trade candidates back during the deadline this past year was absolutely Cooks. Now, the reason why, he's a good receiver. He's had 2 back-to-back very solid seasons, and it's just been an absolute nightmare in Houston. If you decide to move on from Deshaun Watson, if you decide to move on from Cooks, you can go into this rebuild, get some extra salary, get some extra draft picks, continue to build for the future. Because I'm telling you right now, the fact that he had 90 grabs, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns with Tyrod Taylor, Davis Mills, and I can't even remember the other quarterback's name. I believe got a start or 2 in there. That's pretty impressive. And Cooks, even though he's been in the league for like 7 years, he's still only 27 years old, can be reliable, and he can help out a lot of teams who are trying to win right now. Now, Chat Sports, we're a big show, right? Big YouTube channel, over 277,000 subs. And I know we got a bunch of people that like different teams. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to not only shout out your favorite team, but I also want you to go down in the comments then and tell me a player that you think they should trade for. Is it somebody that I've listed in today's show? Is it somebody that hasn't been listed on today's show? Shout out your favorite team and a player that they should trade for. At number 4, this is the biggest non-quarterback name on the list, and I know I'm going to get a lot of people like, wow, really? It's Christian McCaffrey. He won Offensive Player of the Year in 2019 after arguably one of the craziest seasons I've ever seen from a running back. Personally, I think he should have won the MVP. That's how good he was. But after getting that hefty payday, he's missed 23 games the past 2 seasons. In fact, essentially Carolina gave him $30 million over the past 2 years to play in 10 games. He's under contract through 2025, and a lot of the examples are things that I said about Barkley, where if you could guarantee me he's going to play, he's worth the money. The fact that he can catch the football the way he does, the fact that he can help you in so many different areas is amazing. But the injuries do scare the hell out of me, and if I was Carolina, and if somebody offered me a first-round pick and to take on all of his money, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I would 100% do it. At number 3, Deshaun Watson, and this name is definitely difficult to be able to wrap my mind around because Watson is an amazing quarterback, top 5 talent, but he's still facing 22 allegations. So is the team going to give up multiple first-round picks for somebody facing allegations who might never be able to play in the NFL again? I don't know. The new team, if they were to go out and trade for him, they would have to take on his remaining contract, which would be 4 years, $136 million, so about $34 million a year for Watson, which I personally believe is worth it because back in 2020, led the NFL in passing yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks behind a very bad offensive line, behind pretty poor wide receiver group as well. Deshaun's got the talent. The issue is he's got a lot of other issues as well. Now, if you haven't already, give me a follow on Instagram. Please, please, please go ahead and do so. I'm at MitchellRents365. I'm going to be doing Instagram Lives to try to keep you guys up to date. News, rumors, all that good stuff. And if you want to interact with me and ask me some questions, it's the easiest way to do it. At number 2 here, it's Russell Wilson. The trade rumors have been swirling around him for quite some time. Heck, there were rumors leaked last offseason that he wanted to be on the move. The Seahawks, they pay $26 million in dead cap if he's traded before June 1st, which is why I think if he is traded, it would more than likely be after June 1st. Now, the new team they were responsible in for 2 years, $51 million left on his deal, though I'm being 100% honest with y'all. Russell Wilson, if he gets traded, would absolutely want a brand new contract. He had 64.8% completion percentage last year, over 3,000 yards, and then on top of that, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and realistically, he is a phenomenal, phenomenal player. It's just, where exactly is he going to go, and is at this point, is he a little bit I don't know, overrated. Coming in at number 1, though, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. Probably not too much of a surprise. Rodgers has made it obvious he wants out. He doesn't like a lot of the management or what's going on with Green Bay. The fact that the Packers just lost their offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, who he seems to be very close with, that could also be detrimental to him staying in Green Bay. Plenty of teams are going to have interest in the 2020 MVP. He might even win MVP this season as well after 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Though, I do say if Rodgers wants to continue to win, staying in the NFC makes a ton of sense. It also makes a ton of sense staying in that division because Minnesota, where exactly are they at? Chicago, Detroit. If Aaron wants to go to the AFC, I think he might find it's going to be a little bit more difficult to win in the AFC than the NFC. Now, my top 3 players in today's show were all quarterbacks. So if you had to pick between these 3 quarterbacks right here to trade for, would you go out and get the 2020 MVP and Aaron Rodgers, type A? Would you go out and get somebody like Russell Wilson, type R? Maybe you want to go out and get somebody like Deshaun Watson. Go ahead and type D. Now, we went through all 15 of those players, and if you made it this far in the video, I'm going to pat myself on the back because that means we're doing something right around here. To make sure that you never miss any trades, never miss any news, rumors the entire offseason, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on those notifications because I can guarantee you this. If one of these players right here gets traded, we're going to be going live here, and I don't want you to miss it. So subscribe, turn on those notifications because I don't want you to miss a thing.